We all know that chameleons change color to blend into their environment, right? But what if I told you that that's not necessarily the case? Welcome to Ant's Reptile Colony. I'm Ant, and this is... well, it doesn't actually have a name, but he's the only chameleon I have, therefore he made it into the video. But if you think he should have a name, drop some suggestions in the comments below, and we can give this little guy a name. But anyway, getting back into the reason that you guys are all here into this video, and that is because I said that chameleons don't actually change color to blend into their environment, also known as camouflage. Their natural coloration is actually those green hues or browns that you normally see amongst chameleons, and that is their natural color that they use to camouflage into their environment, not the colors they change into. But then, if chameleons don't change color to camouflage, then why do they change color? And there are quite a few reasons for this actually, but one of the main reasons is that they use it for communication. And I'm not talking about the, hey, how's it going? What's the weather like? Type of communication. It's more that the males will do this in order to try and attract the attention of the females during the mating season. Or for other competitive males in that they want to show them how big and strong and colorful they are, so that the others will go, ooh, I don't want to mess with this guy. I don't want to steal his girls, and move off. This, of course, doesn't always work, and chameleons often do end up having a bit of a fight for the females. And from the female side of things, the females are able to change color to say, ooh, actually, yes, I am interested in you, hang around a bit longer, or they'll change the color to say, ooh, I don't really want anything to do with any of these guys. I'd rather have them on a branch 2 trees away. They also change colors in order to communicate whether they are stressed or unhappy with the situation. You'll notice often when you go and take a chameleon off a branch or from a tree or something like that to handle it, they will go a much darker color. They'll start changing to almost a black type of color. And this is showing that they are not happy with their current situation, rather upset, and would rather be placed back where they were found. And when the chameleons are calm, they are found in their natural coloration, which is the more greens or browns or anything along those lines, depending on the type of chameleon, of course, and the locality which they are found. But the interesting thing, it's all been interesting, the more interesting thing is that when chameleons are sleeping, they are actually a very light color, almost completely white. But not only do chameleons change color for communication, they also change their color to thermoregulate, and that is to control their temperature, because of course chameleons, being reptiles, are ectothermic, meaning they cannot produce their own body heat and therefore rely on external sources of heat, such as the sun. So if a chameleon is cold and needs to raise that body temperature up a little bit, it'll turn into a much darker color, sometimes even just a single side being a much darker color, with that side then facing the sun, to allow for the maximum amount of light, therefore heat absorption from the sun. And if it's feeling a bit hot, then it will lighten itself, perhaps even just one side of it again, and face that side towards the sun, therefore reflecting more of that heat or that light, keeping the body temperature cooler. And how chameleons change color is not as simple as we once thought. Chameleons contain pigments just below the skin in specialized sacs. These sacs either contain a red or a yellow pigment, and just under those are more sacs, and these contain the black or the melanin pigment. And all of these specialized sacs are known as chromatophores. The chameleons are able to control these chromatophores by spreading them or contracting them. When they spread the chromatophores, that means that they are spreading that color around their bodies, therefore making it very visible. And when they contract the chromatophores, they are then restricting the pigmentation around the body, therefore not having it being seen, or at least not very easily seen. And this was believed to be the method in which chameleons changed color into any color, which means they would have then had more chromatophores of different colors. But later on we found out that chameleons actually have another specialized type of cell known as an iridophore or iridophores. And these iridophores contain guanine crystals, which distance between each crystal is able to be controlled by the chameleon. And okay, that's pretty cool, but what does that have to do with chameleons changing color? I mean, they've got some cells with crystals. So, The way that these crystals are involved is because they actually reflect light. The wavelength or the color that is being reflected by the crystals depends on the distance the crystals are from each other. The more tightly packed the crystals are together, the shorter the wavelength of light that is being reflected. Therefore, it's more along the blue end of the spectrum. And the further apart that these guanine crystals are from each other, the light with longer wavelengths is being reflected. That means that it's closer towards the red end of the spectrum. This reflected light then mixes in with those chromatophores or those pigments that are just below the skin, resulting in different colors. An example could be when the chameleon is now relaxed, these guanine crystals are packed closely together, therefore reflecting the blue light, which then mixes in with the yellow pigments under the skin, giving them that more green light color. Being able to reflect different wavelengths of light is also really important for thermoregulation, because they can control how much and which wavelength is being reflected and of course absorbed, which then either raises or lowers the body temperature of the animal. This of course is also used in tandem with those melanin chromatophores, because that will then darken or lighten the color. So not only can the chameleons change into different colors, they can also change into different shades of that color, which is pretty neat if you ask me. So at the end of the day, chameleons are still amazing animals that are able to change their colors, except not necessarily for the reasons we once thought. So let me know in the comments if that caught you by surprise as well. And while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button if you found this video interesting and informative. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can stay up to date with all the new content. And if you want to learn more, click on the video that's on screen now. And remember, it's never too late to learn, so I'll catch you in the next one.